let's kind of take a look at this. I'm not the first person to say this, but I really feel like there's some bad news coming along for the Virtual Console. And there's been so much evidence for it, and it was just been something that's actually been on my mind for a couple weeks now. Um, I guess kind of since the SNES Classic and the more craziness that keeps happening with it. So I think honestly, Virtual Console as we know it, as it was on the Wii, on the Wii U, even on the 3DS, as it was, is dead, is over. I think that's plain to see. I pulled up these stats a while ago, but the Wii launched with the Virtual Console, not a ton of stuff, but it launched with the service. About 9 months or so, the 3DS got it, and I think about 6 months or so, the Wii U got it. Now, all of those things were known, right? When the Wii U came out, we knew Virtual Console was coming. It was something they talked about. What do we know about the Switch Virtual Console? Really, that they've kind of said the word, and even then, they haven't said outright Virtual Console in, I don't know, a while, like a real long while now. I think the last time someone asked Reggie about it, it was very shirk it off. Yeah, we'll get to that. It didn't even say the words Virtual Console. And that's worrying. And also worrying are a couple things. Because not only are we 9 months out from the system coming out almost, what is it, March? Okay, like 5-6 months. We have no details. We have no details about their online service. We have no details about the classic game selection, which was supposed to launch with the online service, which was going to launch this year, but which would offer these kind of trials, is what it sounds. Oh, not even trials, full games, but for a limited time. Then it came, oh, you get to keep the game as long as you keep the subscription. They're going to be classic games, but with multiplayer added. Still very nebulous, not any concrete details. We also have a pile of, someone wants these, Neo Geo games on the Switch right now. Like from week one, we've gotten Neo Geo game, Neo Geo game, Neo Geo game. That's cool, that's dandy. It's so bizarre. And with the fact that we also got a Namco museum with stuff like Galaga and Dig Dug and Pac-Man on it is also really strange. And there seems to be no way, and you could patch this in, but no way to really add in, oh, here's the actual Virtual Console. These games should be in that other section. It's very odd to me, particularly also, if you go on Nintendo's website, you can search for games, and there's little drop downs for NES and, SNES, Game Boy, other even, and those things don't even pop up. They're not even listed as retro games in their system. They're just listed as games, which is fine, but I think is another kind of nagging thought for the death of this. And then we come to the SNES Classic or the NES Classic, and it's over. I think it is damn well over. Plus, we have the rumors of the N64 Classic happening. That seems all but assured. I don't think we'll get a GameCube Classic, but maybe. But I doubt that. Regardless, this is a very clear rollout. NES Classic 1 year, SNES Classic the next year, N64 Classic the year after, and then Virtual Console. Meanwhile, next year, we're getting, at the beginning of the year, this online service, which you still know nothing about at all, of what we get with these games, how long this period works, how any of it works. Still don't know anything about it, but it's coming next year, and it supposedly has some retro games attached to it, because who doesn't want to play fucking Balloon Fight online? Whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. They're clearly going into, we can sell these NESs again. Now, Now, the whole argument of do they sell them well? Are they producing enough? That's a separate issue. That's a separate question, because no, they're not doing a good job at that. But that is just so besides the point. They could be making a lot of money by putting out these retro games on the Switch, especially the first year when there's Splatoon, there's ARMS, but there's a big gap between Mario Kart and Mario Odyssey. We could have seen, hey, here's Super Nintendo Mario Kart. Here's Mario 3. But instead, not only do we get nothing, we get less than nothing. We get the absence of Virtual Console, and we get a device that now has become such a crazy thing that months before it comes out, there's already panic in the streets about it. And it really signals to me that they continue to not know what they're doing. Now, I criticize the Switch for kind of just being baffling. I like it. I like Zelda. I like Nintendo. I like their games. I don't know why it's so successful. I don't get it. I don't and will never understand why they insist on leaving money on the table all over the place. It's not just a little, right? It's not just a few dollars here and there. They have these games, and maybe they're trying to figure out, oh, if you bought them on Wii U, if you bought them on Wii, you can buy them for less, or you get them for free. Maybe they're trying to figure that out, but you know what? I don't think they are. I don't think they're doing anything like that. They're waiting until years down the line, and then they can finally flip a switch and be like, oh, hey, you're happy about this? You want some more of this stuff? Here you go. And it's stupid. And they've done this time and time again, and somehow we sit here on the side and kind of act like, oh no, they'll figure it out this time. Why? How? Why would they figure it out this time? They've never figured it out. They have shown again and again that they just do whatever the hell they want. And our hopes and dreams as super fans, super idiots, it seems like sometimes, are not even part of the equation at all. Because you know for a fact they could have released Mario 1 a month after launch and sold 200,000 copies at $5 a pop. You know for a fact they could have done that, and that's underselling. I'm lowballing that number. You know they could have done that. You know they could have done that with Mario 2, either one, the real one or not the real one, Mario 3, Mario World. You know for a fact they could have made $1 million probably on each one of those titles. At least. At least. You know it. So what do they do instead? Release 500 fucking NES Classics. And now we get the SNES Classic. And then we're going to get the N64 Classic. And it's just going to be a shit show. We are not going to get what we want from the Switch. At this point, I feel like we may never get a proper Virtual Console on this device. And you know, I think what really made me realize that was a while ago when they started talking about, is he going to run up the, okay. He started talking about Reggie, and he said something about the classic game collection. And he was asked about Virtual Console, and he specifically avoided using the words. It was then that I came to that conclusion, that this is over. This guy playing the game is kind of funny sometimes. It's not going to happen. We are not going to get this. It can't. We can't get this when they've been so all over the place, and they refuse to acknowledge its existence. This interview was, I think, a couple months after the Switch came out. We still don't know about the virtual. We're not getting Virtual Console. Hey, well, perfect timing, actually. Well, I'm talking about the Virtual Console and how it's done, and we should just all cry. I don't think it's going good at all. Actually, it's very perfect timing. Let's talk about nonsense like we used to in the olden days with my bat. Like that. But it is kind of a bummer to just see Nintendo miss the boat so clearly, I feel like, with Virtual Console. You know, I played this level, and I guess I just didn't know about the fly hat. I don't have any nonsense on deck. Well, what? Well, it doesn't have to be a thing you watch.